that first CT final. He wants another shot to win an event. This heat, getting started, a world champ in Italo Ferreira. Also has a gold medal from the Olympic Games in Japan.
On each conditions, but here at the wave pool, he keeps it even better. Let's see what's going to happen here for Italo.
Couple of nice turns to start for Ferreira, pushing hard through the lip. Biggest thing you notice from his rookie season is how much bigger he is now in strength. Leaving half the board out the back and somehow gets back in it. Not worried about that first barrel section and even time to soul arch. And now stall, waiting for this inside pit. And now super deep, completely disappearing. What a great line. Punches out the fins. There's that blasting reverse. He's creating more sections for the shove it. And getting everybody very excited here at this Surf Abu Dhabi facility. Finished in the top 10 in his rookie season. Now he's always just knocking at the door for a world title. Winning his first world title in the water at Pipeline over Medina. Here we go, Jesse.
I mean, he went to town on that wave. Let's talk about this floater here on the most critical part of the section, and then the tail blow. It's going to happen right here. The wave was pretty much barreling under him. He backside board slide. Coming out with so much speed and flare. Right here, he knows exactly. He did a lot of damage. Took the risk when he needed to. Just needed to finish it off strong. Gets actually extra deep on that section. And then a nice reverse to finish it off. A little bit on the flatter part of the wave, but still, that was impressive from him. I think that's the board slide that I'm talking about. Look, he's going to put that board up in vertical, and then he's going to start dragging, flaring through, keeping that board flat, but keep getting the extension throughout the lip with the board sideways, airdropping it. And that's what's most impressive about it. It's not the hardest thing for those surfers to do that turn, but you come out with speed on a wave that is going in such a fast pace. And then this one, driving through more off the fins. Not as aggressive, but more solid, more on rail. Gets a nice barrel, get tucked in very tight. Comes out and does another tail blow. A little bit on the flatter like I mentioned, but still, huge way to start the heat.
Italo throwing quick shakas to everyone that's screaming his name down in the Red Bull athlete zone. His girlfriend proud of that opening ride. CT by the number, 17 plus heat scores in the wave pool. We've got Italo with 2 of those. Tying only Felipe Toledo. How cool is that little layback dagger to pull into the pit? Traveling, nice low, compact style. He could hold this position for about a mile with how strong he is. Getting nice and loose and spicy off that lip liner drift, and look at him punching free of the whitewater again. Now getting some speed, clear for takeoff. Full row on the alley-oop. Grab rail, finishing carve for Ferreira to put together a dreamy opening run in the quarterfinals.
I mean, we talked about Rio being solid and starting with 2.7s, and this is Italo's version of that. Amazing backhand coming to the forehand, just mixing it up with that big alley-oop in the end. I mean, that's a lot of pressure added to Kanoa right now. He's really going to have to perform. Beautiful layback. Sits on the barrel right there, which for me personally, usually this is the easiest part of the wave for the surfers, mostly on the men's side. This is where you kind of get some time to rest and take a few breaths and reset for this part of the wave. This is very important. It's so hard to keep the focus throughout the whole wave. It's such a long wave we're not used to. Surfers are not used to surfing that long of waves. It's very demanding, and to finish it off with that big alley-oop in transitioning, actually gaining speed as he was landing. So impressive from him. This is a layback on slow-mo. Look how extended he is. Cuts it short right there to make sure he doesn't waste too much time set up for the barrel afterwards. And this is when he starts to aim it down, measuring how much coverage he's going to have to get. Whips it all the way around, lands it perfectly.
Look at that number for Italo, an 8.5. That's enormous in the wave pool. Incredible surfing, gigantic alley-oop, landing at bolts with an aggressive grab rail cutty to show how much control he had, and throws a big heart to the fans here in Abu Dhabi. And some of them are watching world-class surfing for the very first time coming into scoring it. So he's like, I'll just go with a quad then, liking that free feeling between his fins. First wave is now setting up his forehand. Representing Japan, raised in Huntington Beach, California, Surf City, USA. Multiple-time US Open champ, plays into that section. Nice float there, jumps off the roof. Basically in the flats on that transition and getting absolutely coned. Flowing over the white water there and punching the fins into reverse. Look at him go, and he gets stuck for a moment. Let's see if he can regroup. Still committing to the corrupt, gets the grab, a big rotation. That was a massive version of that move. Wow, he accomplished a lot. Just that one moment where he got a bobble, threw him off to finish off that right.
As much as judges like to compare right to rights and left to lefts, but because those surfers obviously surf with their face the completely opposite, like I feel like that wobble cost him probably matching the 8.5 that Italo had. You're gonna see it right here. He's gonna push that layback, and then he adds one extra turn before the barrel, which makes him get very deep. Look how deep he is. Like, we've seen him from such a like a lateral angle, and he got disappeared. Gets that tail blow, reversed it all the way back around, but right here, just that front arm going the opposite way that it should be doing, keeping him off balance, and I think he just ended up being out of timing. That was the problem. He got to that corrupt flip a little bit late. As you can see, he has to muscle through and force it through, but the rotation is not quite there yet. He's landing it with the tail before, and the nose wasn't facing the same angle as the wave was moving. So
surfboard races in the desert continue picking up. Here we go. It's the second wave for Kanoa Igarashi. Backhand from him. Big pressure on him from Italo's first run. What's Kanoa got here? Looking to get parts inside the pit. He'll be patient. He's compressed, compact. He's covered. Kanoa's out now. Building up speeds. Attack mode. Gets loads of that lip. Sticks the equipment through that lip line multiple times. And then a big whipping drive from him. Gets real low, just coiled, streaking out the baz. And he'll reverse it out on the face. And this matchup always promised loads on paper in the water. It's absolutely delivered thus far. Just a mistake prior to that from Igarashi on his right. Otherwise, in terms of the overall surfing, the skill that we're seeing, the tenacity, all of that good stuff, ticking a lot of boxes. I'm Paul Evans, joined by two of the finest minds in surfing, Flick Parmentier, Stace Galbraith. Are we enjoying ourselves?
I definitely am enjoying myself. I mean, this heat has lived up to expectation, right? I mean, Italo v Kanoa, Italo absolutely putting all that pressure on Kanoa right now, but Kanoa answering back.
Yeah, you know, we often quite look at matchups on paper and we think how surfers are going to compete. You know, we talk about a little bit about the history stuff as well. That always adds a bit of spice, but just on form, just in the way these two approach the wave, their surfing and the way they like to perform as well on the biggest stage on finals day. I mean, all the matchups are there for these two to really go at it, and the entertainment's there. Spectators are the winners.
They are the winners. I just walked past the whole GA then, and it's booming. Sandstorm's gone. That's a distant memory. And the Aperol spritzers and the Coronas are flowing. It's all happening down there. Look at it. It's packed.
So let's have a look here what Kanoa got done. This is his first left, so a couple of nice snaps there. Really parks it in the tube. And he's pretty much riding on that foam ball. Disappears completely, but I just really love these succession of maneuvers here. I mean, can you get more critical, and can you blow the fins out any more than that? I mean, it was pretty radical. 3 turns. Really measured though, right? He doesn't go too hard. He's like, I just want to lock a score in, just want to complete a ride. Beautiful deep tube. What do you reckon, Stace?
I reckon this is going to be a real interesting one to come in. Kanoa had 2 amazing lefts yesterday in his heat, 7.67 and a 7.43 from memory. The 7.43 had the reverses in the way, but the judges didn't. They just said, "Nah, mate, that's not what we want to see from you. We want to see you biting into the lip hard." And
wow.
he did that on this wave. I'm really curious to see where the judges go with this one, because I think this is his best surf left of the comp. And it's right around the number, and that's just going to sting him. I walked past him yesterday in the ice bath. He was just cooling his quads down. And he was like, "Oh, I kind of did a couple of spins, and like they still didn't like it." And now he's belted this one to within an inch of its life.
Number 4 Igarashi is 7.53. Having a look at Italo. Second run. 7.67 for his first right. Just belting things with an absolute ton of speed to burn. He'll try and lose some of that speed. Good vibe in the crowd. Kaipo's down there. How's it looking, mate?
We got Italo right here. Spins that reverse nose pick on that one. Snap it off the top. One more time for Ferreira. In the groove right now. Ferreira's going to stall for another barrel. We're checking it on the big screen out of that one. What's he got for us? And he tosses that one away. He's got a keeper on the right. Back to you, Paul.
Yeah, lots of noise down there, mate. Who's the crowd going with? Who they liking?
This is my people. Would you ever think that we would have this many surf fans in Abu Dhabi? Just a few years ago, the place is packed. And you know what? I'm having a good time with all of y'all. Yeah.
Love it. Kaipo down, making friends in the crowd, as is Italo Ferreira with his performance. But you see a little bit of a grimace on his face. The finish of that wave will break it all down here. He was going great guns through the early and middle part.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was pretty dynamic, just the tube, but it was what was done in this second section. He just absolutely lit this up. Talk about a nose pick reverse, and then straight up into this next section, just really nailing this wave, essentially, really blowing those fins out the back. But yeah, what did you make of this end section, Stace?
Yeah, sort of in between 2 turns, really. He's got, you know, the perfect barometer on at the moment of how hard to push it and also keep it complete. We saw that on his first ride with the alley-oop, but it wasn't his best one he's done this event. Nevertheless, it was a huge score, and it was a completed manoeuvre. And on this little reverse that he went for here at the end of the wave, just didn't quite get his timing right. But like you said, Flick, up until that moment, he absolutely went to town through that middle part of the wave. That was a big score gone begging. Question asks, do the judges still reward it anyway without the finish? Because as we saw yesterday, they don't really care about the finish, apparently.
Yeah, it does seem that way, you know, like, are you really getting that much more points?
Your point you made yesterday, Stacey, just want to revisit that. Looking at the left now for him, and he went huge. Getting the 8.5 with his first left. So a big task in front of him to improve on that, but what that means is he's going to have to try and bring his best, which sounds pretty good in terms of what he's going to attempt to do here. Ferreira being creative, finding that cover. Nice cylindrical section for him at the moment. It's well paced and it's poised. And then that's super extended as the leg strength and the athleticism. He'll chop one on a rail. Ramping up here. Think we know what's coming. Weaving for speed. Again, an absolute beast of an alley-oop. And he just tears in with the gouge on the face. Gives it a little kiss in the lip line to finish as well.
He took that one from Ian Gouveia. That's Ian Gouveia's favourite claim, that one.
Wow. He's got that alley-oop on lock. It seems like he's unlocked that secret part of the wave. He just knows with the feel. He knows the section he's looking for. Perfect timing. And absolutely nails another left. So just applying even more pressure, really. He's just seems such good form. What did you see, Stace?
God. Ripping, basically. I mean, a turn like that wasn't crazy, but I know the judges are going to love the drama. A little bit of a, whoa, is he going to fall moment. He didn't, of course not, but it's cool. Adds a bit of excitement to the pit. And then I think this is sort of the difference between your two veterans and your world champions. Jackson Bunch has this manoeuvre on tap, but he doesn't quite have he's only got the 9 version in him at the moment. He doesn't really have the setup one. This is obviously the 9 version. But it was he got the confidence out of the first wave to go this big on the next one, for just dialing it back a little bit. The angle of entry on this one is so much more critical than the first one. He was a little more lateral on the earlier wave, but it's still got a really high score, and I'm expecting this one to go over, so it's going to put a lot of pressure back on Kanoa.
I mean, you even look at the turns that he got done out the back. Not this one, the one we just watched. I mean, he was airdropping down with the lip, and it's when you're hitting that section coming out of that first barrel, it is so critical if you're putting it up straight to lip. Let's look at this air. To your point, Stace, just that entry point, just more critical. Super tail high there, and just silky smooth landing. Straight into that layback hack. Zero downtime between the two.
All right, we'll dive into it here and just make a comparison on the split screen, having a look, comparing these maneuvers in terms of height. So this on the right is the one we just saw. Previous is on the left. We chatted that running order. Surf into a requirement, basically go out and get 9s. That's what this guy's got to do. You'd back him to do it as well, the way he's been ripping in here. Igarashi into it on his right, pushing on that tail. He's a bit behind, couple of pumps will get him super late in, which is technical, it's hard, and it's rewarded if he'll make it out. Travels for a while, and he'll go down.
I mean, he needed to do it on that wave.
We have talked quite a lot about just kind of sticking to your own game and not getting too rattled, but how do you avoid actually not getting distracted when Italo's doing the type of stuff he did? Well, in the meantime, we'll just keep all eyes on Kanoa Igarashi. We'll finish up with a quarter-final place at the Surf Abu Dhabi Pro. Igarashi getting root forward on the board. Sticking loads of body into the face to break, stall, slow down and get cover. Kanoa out. And he'll just sweep one with the cruisy style. And he will flick it up for the shove. Almost getting that done. And he'll go down, and be interesting to see his reaction really overall in terms of, if you get the quarterfinals, it's a decent result, but ultimately surfer like him and these opportunities come along, he would be sort of sniffing a little blood, I feel, and would have been backing himself to go all the way.